This episode of Road Soda is brought to you by White Castle PCS.
White Castle PCS, your favorite fast food restaurant, now offers even faster cell service. Come in for the royal treatment, the sack of sliders and a cell meal. It's the only meal that comes with a smartphone, the Whiteberry. The Whiteberry is the fastest fast food smartphone on the market. Unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited taste. White Castle PCS offers cell coverage within 20 yards of all White Castle locations. Text using WhiteTap, and you get 25% off our mouth-watering slider sacks. Come for the sliders, stay for the cell service. White Castle PCS.
Hello and thank you for cracking another Road Soda. Road Soda 111. Coming to you from beautiful Blairsville, Georgia. A Road Soda on the road, if you will. Or just Road Soda. On this episode, police have jacked technology from Spider-Man, and we interview the world-famous channeler and my sister, Katie Cooper Lawrence. And also on this episode, who's going to be helping me out is her husband, Nick Lawrence. Nick is going to help us do the news, that kind of thing. And my sister, I'm going to do an interview with her. I've known her the whole time, and she's got some very interesting stories about, ghosts in shit, as I like to say. But before we get into all of that, we have some right up front, top of the morning, how you doing, straight up mail. Everyone who listens to the show is encouraged to write into us because we love to read the mail and we love to hear from you guys. So anybody who wants to write into the show can do so at roadsodamail@gmail.com. That's the email address. Go ahead and set it in. We read all that stuff. We have an email, and I apologize. I got an email from Grant the other week about an episode we had with Libby Higgins, and I completely neglected to do that one, to read what he said. He sent a couple of vines of his favorite vines. I asked what the favorite vines were. He said first vine and my kid's favorite vine, and he sent us. I actually remember the first one he sent. It's really pretty funny. I got it. So he's got the music going. You can hear the music going, and it's actually really really clever and funny because he's like looking around, and then it shows his pair of pants, and his ass is clenching to the beat. But it's just a preposterous amount of clench going on, and then he screams, "It won't stop." That's a very, very funny vine. And then we have another vine here that I believe is his kid's favorite vine.
Oh man, you got this?
Okay.
My man.
Yeah, he tips over a cup, and the water spills out, and then the napkin. He goes, "You got this," and the napkin scoots closer and soaks it up, and then gets a smiley face, and he goes, "My man." I wonder. That's a pretty. I like that one. I could see how a kid couldn't. That would be their favorite. I never know. I don't remember how old Grant's kids are, but he's got them. Also, Grant he wrote a whole cornucopia of stuff that we can read about. First, he wants to know, where is Greg? He's just curious about where Greg is. Well, Greg is MIA. If we ever, I don't know, man. He's just, we don't know where he is, and you can't call an Amber Alert on a 45-year-old man. So we'll see what happens there. Seemingly ignored response from previous episode. Anime music. I know. I'm sorry, man. Do I just have poor choice of anime? No, you don't. Because Gurren Lagann is one of the most not underestimated. It is one of the biggest turnarounds of feeling that any anime. So you watch it, and it's so over the top cheesy. And then with each episode you watch, that cheese that you once hate becomes what you love. And it's the biggest turnaround of like hate to love this show. And then by the end of the show, not to mention that show has the craziest, most insane power scaling of any anime. It literally goes from like little pew-pews, shoot 'em ups, to the power of things that are the size of galaxies fighting. It's insane. And he also mentioned, but he was talking about the favorite theme song. But here's a little fun one. He said, Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex was Solid State Society opening theme. If it's the same theme that I'm thinking of, I believe it is. And I should have looked this up first. I loved that same exact theme song. I loved it so much. I used to do parkour way back in the day. Way a long time ago, I would say, or when I say way long time ago, it's really not that long. It was like 2006 or 2006-07. I was doing parkour, and I made a parkour video that I can probably find somewhere floating around on the internet where I used that song as the soundtrack to that parkour video. Just a little fun fact there. But can't and won't watch Dragon Ball, go ride a bike all day. That's what he says about Dragon Ball. I beg to differ. Dragon Ball really touched me in a way. But you know what, everyone, I don't judge anybody for their anime taste, because I know that just from my own experience, there is a part of me when I watch some of that stuff where I'm like, man, I love this, but I can see why other people wouldn't. But I have some very interesting news. Oh yeah, and if you guys ever want to send us mail, you can do that to roadsodamail@gmail.com. However, we have some new things going on out there. Check this out, guys. If you want to call in to the show and leave a voicemail, the show now has a voicemail that you can call and leave your number. Leave your messages. Guys, call 706-200-1213. Again, that's 706-200-1213. And it goes to voicemail, and you can leave your voicemails on that answering machine, and we will play them on the show. So I'm telling everybody now, on the next episode, we're going to check the voicemails, and we're going to play some of those voicemails. So it really works. And if at any point during an episode you go, oh my God, I have to comment on what they're talking about right now, just stop the podcast and you can dial 706-200-1213 and leave us a voicemail, and then you can join the conversation on that next episode. We'll bring you up, see what you had to say, and I heavily encourage that. Let's see, I had some other little cleanup thing. Oh, and of course, stick around for the interview towards the end of the show after the news. It's my sister. It's a fun interview. We talk about some ghost stuff, and it's a good interview. She's my sister, and I love her very much. And of course, I love my brother Nick, and I thank them both for doing this episode with me. Thank you. Thanks. But first, how about another message from our sponsors?
Billy Bum's Bottom Shelf Bourbon, the Panhandler's premium beverage. You've been standing on the corner holding a cardboard sign all day. Finally, someone throws a couple of dimes at you. It doesn't matter that it was high schoolers who just needed something to hit you with, because now you can take that break you deserve and get yourself some Billy Bum's Bottom Shelf Bourbon.
I've been standing on the side all day, and the caterpillar is moving, and I don't know the elementary spot, and you can tell because Gene Shalit doesn't play bingo anymore. That's why I drink Billy Bums.
We put it on the bottom shelf because that's where it goes. Billy Bum's Bottom Shelf Bourbon. It's the cheapest.
This just in, Nick. Welcome to the news. This is the news with my brother-in-law, Mr. Nick Lawrence.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Is that how you say your last name?
It's actually Lawrence. But whatever. It's not an accredited last name, so it doesn't matter.
What is it? Because I know my mom was doing all the... Is it like from England?
There's a whole story there, man. My dad's dad at some point was adopted, and there was a name change in there somewhere. So
holy crap!
Who knows?
Why
I'm technically not a Lawrence if you get into the genealogy of it all. But
I think Mom did say something about that, and
that
does sound really familiar.
There's some like murderers in there, and who knows, man.
Sounds like a cool. That should be the news. I'm putting you on the news, man.
Yeah, well.
So I got a lot of different news stories this time because I just spent a lot of time doing it. So I thought it would be fun right out of the beginning if you see some of these headlines. So some of the headlines just for people listening is change dog gun laws. These are my headlines too. Everybody. And then one says RoboCrop. Spider-Man technology catches McDonald's enthusiast. Bad reporting. Who is fattest? If any of these jump out?
Change dog gun laws sounds like a good one. I didn't realize dogs had guns. But.
Well, that's it's a growing problem in America and outside of America, in that guns. There's very little laws against dogs owning guns.
Well, I guess it's good. I mean, dogs need to have their Second Amendment right as well.
The dog shot her, ? 911 call released of woman's bizarre accident. So that's the actual headline. And that comes to us from, it's in New York. It's 7 News, Channel 7 News out of New York.
Out of New York. Dogs with guns in New York. Yeah.
That's right. Well, I think the actual story is... Super criminal. And even the dogs got guns. You ever been to New York? Even the dogs got guns.
Badass.
A puppy in Oklahoma, it's a fucking brother. Letting these kids get these guns. A puppy in Oklahoma is responsible for shooting a woman and sending her to a hospital.
Shit, you can't even hide your gun under the bed anymore. The fucking puppies are gonna get them.
I know. Do you think that was ever a sentence that you would read in the news?
Well, I mean, I've seen a couple hunting stories where drunk-ass hunters will strap a gun on a dog and...
Really?
Yeah, someone will get shot. Or there's the classic chimpanzee with an AK on the internet.
That is a good video.
Yeah, I don't know if that's real, but whatever.
It doesn't matter. I want to believe it's real.
Yeah, it's...
So how does this even happen? There's the killer dog. Maybe I should read more before getting there. Yeah. The family said it started when a nearby passing train spooked the dog and it stepped on the gun. Oh, so it's the train's fault.
Oh,
trains.
Fucking fault. How old are trains? About time to phase them out, right?
Exactly. They're killing people with making dogs step on guns.
So trains are technically more dangerous than guns are.
Oh, for sure.
In this country, I'd have to say.
That discharged the weapon, hitting the woman in the leg. Jiminy Christmas. Yeah, so why has she just got a gun laying on the floor?
Maybe she's planning on shooting the dog, or shooting at the train, one of the two. I mean,
maybe she should have done it sooner. Anyway, Here, they got some of the transcript here. Let me read it to you. The dog, it's F******. What do you think they're trying to say there?
F******.
Yeah, the dog fucking stepped on it, and it went off. Dispatcher, the dog shot her? Yeah. Dude, you know what this sounds like? It sounds like a husband shot his wife, and it is like...
Come on, man. We don't need to slander men here, man. Come on. I mean, how come every time a woman gets shot...
Well, just if it was a woman on the phone, I would have said a woman shot her husband.
Well, listen to her. She says the fucking dog. That doesn't sound like a very trustworthy woman to me. I mean...
Springer can be heard on the call screaming for help. She's bleeding really bad. I can't.
It's an unfortunate last name, too.
I know, Springer, right? This should be on Springer.
This sounds like a Florida story, man. This can't be in New York.
I think it was actually in Oklahoma.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, let me see. Here, we'll go back. We were going to move on to let's see. It was, Enid, Oklahoma.
Whatever.
One less. Could be
one less woman in the fucking Midwest. It's all right.
There you go. So we got internet is dumber Internet is dumber than monkey. Groundhog attacks. Biggest waste of internet space by a news outlet.
Why don't you pick this one?
How about, because I'm kind of playing with a loaded
Playing with a loaded gun?
Loaded deck. Or
Loaded
gun. Playing with a loaded gun.
Is that the expression? I'm sorry.
Sorry. I'm a dog playing with that. How about, I said the biggest waste of internet space.
Yeah,
for some reason, that one stuck out to me. If I remember correctly, it was British tourist is horrified. See, we're downstairs in this, we're recording from the beautiful
The game room.
Blairsville game room. Is it a spider? Is it a scorpion? British tourist is horrified by bizarre 8-legged creature in South Africa. So,
South Africa. I mean, I'd be horrified at anything in South Africa.
Of course. But it's so like, I think it's the most useless news story in the face of the planet. So white guy goes to South Africa is afraid by big bug. Like that has got to be the most. Of course, he's gonna be afraid of some big bug.
You must have been someone prominent. I mean, who would pick this story up?
Yeah, who would pick this? You're right. So let's read it. This is the skin-crawling moment a British tourist encounters a creature like no other, an 8-legged specimen that's not quite a spider and not quite a scorpion. You know, these things, I'm pretty sure they have them like. I've seen these in like New Mexico and in the Southwest in America. Have you seen those before? That thing. Oh yeah, we used to fish those out of the pool. It looks like a tarantula almost.
Jesus.
But it looks like a beetle.
So technically, you lived in South Africa.
Technically, basically the same place.
So you've got personal experience with these things.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be freaked out like a dumb Brit. Let's see.
Wow.
Pedro. His name was Pedro Gross.
That's
18. Was visiting.
fake news. That's bullshit. There's no British man named Pedro. Are you crazy?
I'm all over the place. Maybe he was an American and he said he was British because he didn't want to.
Oh, come on, man. In this day and age, which is better? Come on, folks.
Which is better?
American, English.
It's all shit, right?
Yeah, we're all whitey.
We're all whiteys. I spotted in the middle of the path moving strangely. Yeah, this is just the worst.
Path.
It's just, oh man, I can't even articulate how stupid that is. Do you see any? We'll do a couple more. I think there's a couple.
I've got some experience with the groundhog, so let's do that one.
This one's fun. Groundhog attacks. And then I want to hear your experience. What's your experience with groundhogs?
Well, this is pretty redneck, but every year we used to have a woodchuck day where we would just go shoot woodchucks, and whoever shot the most, everyone would kick in $10, and there'd be like a $500 pot at the end of the day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So was it just something you did with like a group of friends, or was it like organized by like?
Oh no, it was organized. It was through the company I was working for. So basically, we just get in a truck, throw guns in the truck.
So far, so good.
And this is not in any kind of season, by the way. Drinking the entire time. And we just see a woodchuck, drive around the back roads, see a woodchuck out the window, roll the fucking window down, blast them, run out, grab it, throw it in the bed of the truck, and keep going. Yeah.
Well, I don't even think woodchuck has a season. You can just blast them. You just blast them.
There's
what kind of job did you have? That sounds cool. Organizing that, and then whoever has the most. Did they also do like who has the biggest? Like who got the fattest groundhog?
No, because I mean it was like on our best year we shot 25 of them.
Ooh,
so it was pretty good.
pretty good cleanup.
Yeah.
Well, I think these people in this news article need you guys out there because they have aggressive groundhogs invade Illinois neighborhood. Woman claims. An Illinois woman said aggressive groundhogs have infested her neighborhood. Misty, let's say if I say this right, Seyfirth, said they've attacked her daughter, and their dogs. It's not one or two, Seyfirth said. It's more like 20 or 30 every day. Wow. So it's a pretty big deal.
They got like a Vietnamese tunnel system under this woman's yard then, man. 20 or 30.
Yeah.
And they're skittish as hell, man. I mean, she must be feeding them. That's the only way there'd be 20 or 30 of them in the backyard.
100%. Because let's keep reading. I like that you picked that up so quick, because I've been bitten. My daughter's been bitten, and so have my dogs. There's one point. Yeah, I love that sentence. There was one where she said that my daughter's hand was bitten. Yeah, say was standing on the wall and was standing in her yard, and her dog Penny, when a groundhog bit her in the hand. She then fell off a 3-foot retaining wall and shattered her heel. So the only reason it bites you in the hand is because you're trying to hand it food.
Or
right?
you're reaching into the hole for some dumb reason. And where's this 3-foot retaining wall? What?
I don't. In the neighborhood somewhere. I don't know.
Okay.
She said it was like in their yard or something. And the dog, her and her dog.
But you know what? Women like this, she would be horrified if someone came up and said,
could I slaughter
Can
them
I go
all?
shoot these ones?
Well, I don't want to kill them.
No, because this is what we would do, man. If we pulled up to a house, we saw someone in someone's backyard, and we're like, oh shit, there's a car in the driveway. It's like, all right, we'll go knock on the door and be like, hello, ma'am, we're going through the neighborhood to
Clean up
having a competition. Yeah, like they're vermin. we were like, we basically turned woodchucks into Nazis, man. They're like, they're vermin. They eat all your vegetables. They don't like blacks. You know, there's all kinds of things, man.
People don't like
yeah,
blacks.
they're racist. I mean,
They're racist. You basically just don't want them in your neighborhood.
and then they like, watch us shoot them. And this was only 5 years ago, man.
Right.
But I feel like now that would.
And this was way up in Vermont, right?
Yeah, it was in Vermont, but
I mean,
you think Vermont's a pretty liberal place.
It is pretty
technically, but it's like
Yeah.
the most liberal gun laws in the country. Go figure.
yeah.
I don't understand how that works, but
it's because it's like the only independent state, isn't it?
yes, yeah.
But this is out in Illinois, and yeah, if you pulled up on this bitch's door, you'd be like, "Hey, can I shoot some of those groundhogs?" She'd be like, "Wait, I don't want them dead."
Yeah, they're only attacking me and
my
my
kids.
stupid dog Penny. Fucking dog.
They're attacking my stupid dog.
This episode of Road Soda is brought to you by Schmittler's Pest Control. Schmittler's Pest Control Company specializes in shrew extermination and are the #1 pest control company in the Tri-County area. Hello, I am Randolph Schmittler. The hook-nosed shrew is a foul pest. Our eradication techniques are what people would call thorough. We march through your neighborhood and put marks on doors of households infested with the shrews. Then we gather them all together, isolating them from the other populations. The trick is to break the spirit of the shrew. After that, we put them to work building tiny little camps. Finally, we come to our final solution. Many people say they have never heard of a shrew infestation, and to that we say, you're welcome. Schmittler's Pest Control. Call for a consultation today.
All right, let's do one more and see where we go from there. Let's see. Groundhog attacks. Get the gator drunk. You want to see get that gator drunk?
It's either that or bad reporting, one of the two.
Bad reporting. For some reason, I don't know why. Oh, yeah, let's do bad reporting. Here we go. This is going to be a little bit of a curveball.
Okay.
Unless you glanced at the URL.
I'm completely in the dark.
Are you completely in the dark? All right. So this comes to us from the San Diego Times, or Times of San Diego, but it's completely different. A bizarre incident at an elementary school leads to arrest of woman behaving erratically. All right. So far, not so crazy, right? But it's a pretty short article.
Yeah, women behaving erratically is a
Right, so
pretty normal
nothing
story.
too crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
A woman who drove a truck through a parking lot barricade at an elementary school in Claremont, Mesa, was arrested Thursday afternoon, according to On Scene TV. San Diego police were called, blah, 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 Claremont. The woman who was reported to have rammed her GNC truck through the chain barricade as she tried to enter the parking lot was on school acting erratically, including screaming at a tree. Right?
I got hung up on this. Why is it necessary? Her GMC truck, like why?
Right.
Why is that?
I don't know. Yeah, you're right. That doesn't
like who gives a shit? Why would a reporter be like her GMC truck or a Ford truck?
Maybe just give the image, because everyone knows like what a because
so all the rednecks be like, yeah, it probably was a GMC truck. Couldn't get through that piece of shit.
Couldn't get through it at all. So then you keep reading, right? And it says students were never in danger. According to on-screen TV, officers were able to detain the woman without further incident. A variety of new unopened tools unopened tools were found in the cab of the truck. Mm-hmm. It's not clear what prompted the incident or what the woman's current condition is. So I called this bad reporting because I have so many questions. Why were you yelling at the tree?
Why is there a barricade at a school?
Why is there a barricade? Why do you have unopened tools in your truck? The
truck's got to be stolen. Women don't use tools.
Women don't use tools. She took it from her husband, and then her husband looks a lot like a tree. I don't know.
No report. She wasn't high, or there's no drug use.
And you would think they would have like a follow-up report, like, oh, we checked into the arrest record.
That's it. They're just going to leave you on that cliffhanger. Like, all right, check back in a month, and we'll tell you this woman's been on death row for 2 weeks. But
it's like, hey, honey, did you hear about that story in the news? Yeah, the lady drove her car through the school parking lot and yelled at a tree. That's the news. What's the news today?
It's like, small towns, man. It's in San Diego.
San Diego, small town San Diego. You know about that. All right. Now I think maybe, we did change God. I want to see if there's any more that stick out.
Robo-Crop, Batter Party.
Who was it?
That one. Was that Robo-Crop?
Crop. Yeah. How about Spider-Man technology catches McDonald's enthusiasts? And this will be This will be the wrap up. This is the last one.
Spider-Man's my least favorite superhero, but it's all right.
So who would be your favorite?
I don't know, man.
Do you have a favorite superhero? Or you're just over the superhero?
It'd be like a movie. I'm not educated with superheroes, but I mean, you got to go Superman, right?
I guess, yeah. He's the original.
I mean, who do they call?
Superman.
Exactly.
Everyone calls Superman. Get him in
like,
here.
what the fuck's Aquaman gonna do if something's going down?
Fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Unless you're are you in a coastal state? All right, not my jurisdiction. Click.
Right. You just stay out of the water, and what's he gonna do?
So this is actually really, really insane. I think you'll like what actually happens. But GPS technology helps St. Anne police end bizarre road rage case. All right. This one there's a lot of interesting facets about this. The St. Anne Chief, Aaron Jimenez, says his department received a 911 call about this lady who was getting tailgated by this guy, and he followed her all the way to his home. He then comes over to the driver's side, gets up next to her, and keeps looking at her. He had actually followed her to her driveway, pulled up, rolled down the window, and said, "Hey, is this McDonald's?" And the police were trying to pull the suspect over, and they were able to, and he almost got away, but he didn't because they were able to use a system called Star Chase to eventually track the suspect. What it is, it's like a gun, and they shoot it at your car, and it sticks with a GPS tracker.
They can't have that. That's bullshit.
That's
man.
Dude,
you can't even be a good criminal anymore. Cops are getting
I'm getting too good. Well, so you would have to drive around with like an EMP pulse. So like
that's the next step, man.
So you could fry it. See it. There's actually a video of it playing.
Yeah, until you know what all this is going to take is someone to have their window down and a cop shoot someone in the fucking face with that thing. Yeah, and there you go. That whole department's done.
Well, no more Star Chase. We had a good run.
Yeah,
but the reason I called it the Spider-Man one is because the original Amazing Spider-Man cartoon that used to come on in like the late 90s, that it was a Spidey tracker. He had these little trackers, and he
just
would
like
throw it. And he
would it out. And
so like Doc Ock would be like running away, and he'd throw it to his back, and it'd stick like between his butt cheeks or something.
Because no supervillain would ever feel that fucking hit his back.
Exactly. No, they're Spidey trackers, bro. Oh, wow. Out of all the cartoons, look, they're
look
showing
at the video.
They're showing the video. Look, it shoots out of the car like a
whatever. That's some James Bond stuff, man. How much did it cost that police department to equip this freaking trapdoor friggin' machine gun
you
launcher.
see it like he's like, click the button. It's like a little red button on the steering wheel.
Whatever happened? Why can't cops just shoot tires out now? I mean,
I don't
come
know,
on,
man.
Like,
Yeah, whatever happened to spike strips? Now going next level. I thought that was pretty damn cool. Thank you for doing the flippin' news,
I
man.
appreciate it, man. It was a good time.
Hell yeah.
You love cockfighting, the tin can tequila, the filthy money, and the juice when Pollo Loco drops into the ring.
I sure do.
But you hate spending hours chasing down what was supposed to be a hot cockfight only to find 2 house cats in a box.
Been there, done that.
You don't want second-rate action. You want feathers flying and razor-sharp talons clawing excitement right into your veins.
Now you're talking.
Cocky is the all-new cockfight location app that will never steer you wrong.
Thanks, Cocky.
We'll keep your thumb on the pulse of your local cockfighting scene at home or when you're out and about.
I never seem to find a good cockfight when I'm traveling for business.
Cocky can. Let the other guys show up on Monday with nothing interesting to say. You will be holding court at the water cooler, regaling the ladies with the kind of excitement that only happens around a good cockfighting ring. Cocky does not condone the use of homemade alcohol or actual brushes with death. Cocky is a GPS location service app, cannot be held responsible for deaths, rapes, or robberies that may occur from its use. Cocky. Don't talk the talk, be the cock of the walk.
A Popco brand.
Hello, with me today. This is a fun interview. I think this is the first interview where I'm interviewing a sibling. With me is Katie Lawrence, my sister.
Aww.
You know, Dad was on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
Dad.
interesting.
It was interesting, and I'm gonna have him again because there's a lot of stories that he didn't even get to about doing his undercover work in, was it El Paso? Is that where he was doing
Honestly,
before
do
we
not
were
remember.
before we were alive?
It's been too long.
His first family. So Katie
The others.
is. That's what I want to ask. If someone was to ask you, like simply, like what do you do? Like what is?
You want to know something?
What? Do you have an
So-
answer?
I ask myself that every day.
Mm-hmm.
What if somebody asks me what I do?
Right. So what do
Because
you?
I hate labeling it.
But I mean, it's.
But
you
I
got to
get
communicate
right.
it.
Exactly. So I don't call myself a psychic or a medium.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the best term would be channeler.
Channeler.
Channeling
So how would you
information.
explain channeling? So if someone's like, "Oh, cool, what's a channeler?"
Okay, so well, we're all instruments. Our body's an instrument, and
Mm-hmm.
it. That's not even a good one.
All right, scratch
let's see,
that.
scratch
What
that.
our body
Okay,
is
how about,
a tuba.
So yeah, I was trying to think of an instrument that
Right.
takes in more than, but no, that doesn't work. So, so we have our 5 senses, and then some.
Right.
And so I gather information from the energy field, the energies around all of us, everything.
Okay.
Everything is energy, right?
Uh-huh.
That's science. And so I sense it, I hear it, feel it, smell it, taste it, touch it, all of that. I think I
Okay.
just said feel, touch twice,
Yeah,
3
that's the
times.
same
but-
thing. So is it channeling?
So, okay. The
word-
information
Right.
that is coming from the ether, I collect it and then I give it out.
Okay.
But that's if I'm interpreting it.
Yes.
That's if I'm feeling something or I'm smelling something. But
Mm-hmm.
I hear voices and I voice channel. So I just speak. I just open my mouth and allow
So
other.
where would those voices like? Because people are gonna go voices. Because obviously the
She's
smelling.
a schizo.
Well, no, I mean, there's people that channelers that comes. Is that the only difference? Is like what you call it?
No,
But-
okay, so if you Google channelers
Mm-hmm.
or like popular one is
Who?
I just heard don't say it.
Well, who
There's a
cares?
few. There's Cryon or Bashar. Those are like popular
Big
ones.
channelers, okay.
Right. So
Which I don't think those are their birth names. Those are.
oh no, that's who they channel.
That's who they channel.
Right.
Those are and when you say who, is it an entity? Is it someone
It's a
that's died?
collective.
It's a collective.
From like an alternate reality,
Right.
another dimension, extraterrestrial, whatever
Okay.
you want to claim it as.
So this only took about 3 minutes to get deep down into extraterrestrials.
Let's go ghost hunting.
Yeah.
So
but yeah, would you say that is...
they're
like,
not doing voice channeling.
They aren't.
They're not.
Who isn't?
Those people I just
Like
named.
Ryan or
Cryon
is
whoever
not
does,
doing voice channeling.
Correct.
They're doing...
They're in their system. They're who makes them whatever their names are. I'm not sure the human name, but who John and Sam. Okay, that's not their names, but we're making it that for now. So John and Sam would step aside, their brain functioning, their thinking, their what makes them them. They kind of move away, and this other intelligence then takes
like
control.
like a possession almost. But that's a really harsh word. It's just like a...
That's but yes, that's
It's like
exactly
putting
what
a-
it is. But
It's like putting a different light bulb in a flashlight.
right. Oh, that's a good one, Isaiah.
Yeah, leave it to me. So so this isn't something that somebody just wakes up one day and they're like, "Hey, I'm a channeler now. I'm gonna start channeling, different senses to people." Where now, obviously, being your sibling, your brother, I can easily tell anyone that you've been into ghosts and shit. The paranormal since as long as I can remember. One of the first shows I remember you watching was Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh, shit's good.
Would you say would you say is there any place in your timeline where you can say, oh, that's where I got really interested, that is where I was like, ooh, I think I'm into ghosts? Or was it just
Okay, so I could tell you my first memory.
okay? I think that'll work.
I was still in a crib.
Uh-huh.
We were in Fairfield, so this is pre-you, which would make me, I think I was around 18 months. Mom said I was in a crib until about 18 months. Okay, so I remember feeling, but also knowing. Like I was sleeping, and I had this feeling that this long fingernail poked my right butt cheek, but I also knew it and saw it. And I remember getting up and looking and seeing these little creatures that look like gnomes to me back then jumping out of the window.
Lovely.
Right. And I remember when I finally was able to get out of my crib, looking on the floor to see if there were any nail marks. And that thought, that the way I was thinking at that time is still the consciousness I have in my brain. Does that make sense? It did not go from a baby world to a 30-something year mind.
Right.
It's all the same.
Well, yeah.
So anyway, I don't know when it started, when I was just always into it. It fascinated me. And then when I was 14, I was introduced to tarot cards.
I remember that. I remember you started carrying around a deck of tarot cards. Who introduced you to the tarot?
A boyfriend's mom.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yep.
Wow.
And she had some ghost stories, and then it just kind of...
That's always the best. I think I always, you see ghost stories on, all over TV and shit. But whenever somebody has a ghost story, you believe it more because that person you trust, and it validates.
Yeah.
Whatever they're saying.
I would always get jealous, like Anna. She saw a ghost.
And you're jealous. So you wanted to see ghosts, because most people are like, I don't want to see a
I
ghost.
go looking for them.
So, and have you?
Not like others would.
So you haven't seen a ghostly, slightly invisible apparition standing there?
I have, while I've been in sleep paralysis.
Right, which a lot of people would say is how you see him. But then you have the people that like work in a restaurant that was haunted, and they'll be like, I saw him standing there.
Right. Yep.
You know, that kind of shit.
Yep. Yep.
But you've never seen like that.
Nothing that
And
I can remember.
But you've seen like ghost evidence, like something falls off a table, like that kind of stuff.
So one of my both they have this toy, my kids, that
that's actually the one I was thinking about.
Yeah, that's really the only.
And what happened? So what was the?
So I was sitting all by myself watching TV, and it's this four-cornered table that has like music, a piano thing on one side, ABCs on the other side, and whatever's on the other two sides, and all of a sudden it just turned on.
Right.
And then, it just started hitting the 3 button. Just went 3, 3. 3, 3,
Right.
3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. And at that time, you know, the whole synchronicity numbers, like, oh, I see 1111 or 123 or whatever.
Right.
At that time, I kept seeing 33 everywhere. So I just was like, are you shitting me? What?
Yeah.
Who's doing that? Oh my God, because I was hearing voices at that time and it was silent. No one was saying anything. And then after a while, like, it scared me still, but they did it, whatever energy did it, so that I would get scared, so that adrenaline would go crazy, and then it kept happening until I calmed down.
Right.
And
So
then
when you calmed down, then it stopped doing the 3333 thing. Is that what you're
I
saying?
mean, it did it for a little longer,
Right.
but it was like that. It was to practice the jump scares. What I'm hearing, you know, like the.
That's what you were feeling it was to teach you to practice.
Yeah, that's all I've.
So
been
you were
doing.
so you were seeing threes all over the place, and then one day. So what does it take? The device. What does it take to turn it on? Is there a switch on it?
Yep, on off.
On
Click,
off.
click.
And it wasn't on, and then one
So when
day
I
it just
finally
went
got the balls to go over there to check,
Right.
it was off.
It was off. Okay, see, there you go. That's the part of the story. That's the real.
Yeah.
When you're telling that story, you tell it, and then you follow up on when I went over to it. The thing was actually off.
Right.
There's the part that people are
I'm
like,
I stared at it with my mouth open, like, what the fuck?
yeah. If that was a joke, that would have to be your punchline, because that's like the whole thing. And you guess what?
It was off.
He was dead the whole time. Like, there's your reveal.
Yep. Right.
See, that's a. What about you? We've done a lot of. Like. What's it called with the EVP in graveyards,
yeah.
And we've got a lot of stuff. I remember. I think the first time we did EVP, we were in. We went to that.
In Pennsylvania?
No, it was actually in Florida, in Sarasota. Oh, don't you remember?
I wasn't with you. You called me, though.
Who was I with then? Oh, right, I was with Paige, yeah, at that time. You have to,
I don't know.
I was with, that's what,
I don't know.
no, it was, yeah, that's who I was, I was in high school, I think,
Yeah,
so.
was it? I was not in town.
Right, well, okay. So then the first time we did it, I think was in Rome, Georgia, the two of us. I don't even think Mom had her cabin yet, and it was in Rome, and we were doing it at the big cemetery there. If anyone's ever been to Rome, Georgia, so Rome, Georgia has a massive cemetery on like a huge hill, like right by. It's called Myrtle Hill. Thank you, my niece Taylor's watching, and she just mouthed Myrtle Hill. Yeah, it is this massive cemetery and with gravestones going all the way up to the top of this thing. And it's like at the end of the main street. And what I always think is crazy is when you're standing like on Main Street looking at the hill, it's just thinking about there's bodies in the ground like above your head, like way up in the sky. It's so ridiculous. But
you should see. This is totally off topic.
Yeah,
well, kind of
no,
not. But
this ain't off topic.
There's in West Virginia the mounds
right
of whatever indigenous culture. I totally forgot their names, but there used to be thousands of them.
Oh yeah,
all across, not just West Virginia, but
all that whole area up into Ohio. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Ohio River Valley?
Yes, they have a picture there of the way that they are buried under there.
Oh, there's people buried under there.
There were until they
Right.
leveled
Well, because
all
they
out, but-
bulldozed them to like do different shit.
Yeah, made farm and all that. But like, it's really cool and intricate, and the things that they're buried with, and like just the way that they're all laying. They also found giant bones.
No, they didn't.
Right. Well, that's what they'll say now.
That's what they say. Yeah.
Right.
And that's. Did we find? I don't remember like when we did.
I don't remember doing that with you there. Oh,
At
we
Rome?
did. Right, but that's not the first time. The first time we did that was in Pennsylvania with Matt, and we got that orb picture of the old man.
Are you sure that was in Pennsylvania?
Yes.
Oh yeah, because you have the picture of it.
Yeah.
For some reason, I just don't think that was our first time. I know actually, when Matt and we were in the one in Rome, Georgia, right? And we were doing the EVP thing. And that's what I loved about Matt. He's like, about to be a doctor, but he was actually like going along with it. He's like, yeah, why not? I'll give it a try. And we had the tape recorder and we were asking a bunch of questions. And we had it recording and we were standing like, cause in the middle of like the roads that weave through there. And we heard this noise. It was first of all, like when you're recording and an airplane passes over, I'm talking to you, like I almost barely hear the airplane. But when you go and you replay it, airplanes are like, it drowns out.
I remember this.
Yeah, it drowns out all sound. Well, we were standing there talking to each other and we heard this ear-piercing like buzz. Like it wasn't an insect, it was just so like sharp, and because those noises, they don't like a lot of bugs don't make those noises flying, they do it sitting still, and it either came from like the side of us and then went up, or it came from like way above us, came down and then went back out, because it got really 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 loud, like, as it was coming closer, like the Doppler effect, like and then it just shot up in the air and like went away from us. And it was so fucking ear piercing. Like both of us were like, "What?" We were yelling to each other, like, "What is going on?" And when you go back and you listen to the recording, you don't hear almost anything. You hear like a faint like fuzz, like a weird little faint buzz, and then you hear us start raising our voice and going like, what is that?" Like you hear us yelling louder, but there's almost nothing on the recording.
So you didn't see anything. You just heard it.
We didn't see anything. I could totally. Probably like Google that and there might be a bug that does that, comes out at night in Georgia,
and that would just be your logical mind trying to make sense of
anytime I have it, Katie, we could leave the story magical, but it makes it
magical Isaiah.
Katie, it makes it even better when you search that stuff and that stuff doesn't exist. Why not just plug all the holes and have a crazy story that you can tell people and you go figure that shit out. That's the fun. Well,
or you could just say, Guess what? I've got proof.
I got proof. And then you listen to the audio that I have. In fact, I should have that audio somewhere.
Yeah, I was thinking about the orb picture the other day, and it's like, I'm pretty sure it's on Dad's computer. Good luck finding it.
So where were we? What was going on then?
That was at the cemetery with Matt.
People don't know the story, Katie.
We just went to do the same thing. Took a few click pictures.
So
went back
when you say we went to do the same thing, we're doing EVP. So what's EVP?
Electric voice phenomenon.
Right. Yeah, but now explain it to me as if I was somebody who didn't know.
I say you act like I'm a ghost hunter.
What?
So we go around. Yeah, we go around with a recorder.
Whoever's listening to this is going to go, "What's EVP?" Like I need to know. Like,
I just said electric voice phenomenon.
But that's just the name.
So we can go around with a tape recorder, a recording device.
Yeah.
And so the magical current of a ghost or a spirit or whoever is basically electronic, right? It's vibrational frequencies, frequency patterns, whatever. So whoever can manipulate your recording device to hear what they want to say.
Right, so they like talk through.
Right, so there are other devices out there now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they build things like special you can buy from like ghost hunter websites and stuff.
I actually had a vision a year or so ago of something being invented that is literally like this machine, and I was in the room. I don't know if I was me or not, but I was in the room saying like, okay, so and so's here, like the spirit was there. Start talking to him, and I didn't have to do anything. The spirit would just speak into it, and the person would hear, like it was just it was.
So it was just like a microphone,
right?
It was like a microphone amp system, so he could do his own ghost concerts.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah, because that's almost like the idea of what EVP is, only you would be building a device that like actually worked. Because the thing is, people, like, you see it a lot on Ghost Hunters and stuff, and like when we did it,
frequency translator.
Yeah, you would ask a question and then you wait as if someone was answering. When you go back and listen to the audio, you hear things that weren't there.
Right.
And you do hear things a lot.
Yeah, it's just a pain in the ass the old system, because you have to like turn it really high, like the volume up, and slow it down, or like, wait, was that something? Was that crackling something? Was this, where there are things like, I don't know if it's the spirit box, ghost box, whatever it is, that, but I don't know how that works.
Yeah, there's one where you can, it works best when you use. It's like it's a tuner, a radio tuner.
Yep.
And it just clicks from channel to channel,
Yep.
so it would be like, as it like clicks from,
Yeah. So are they using the words that are already there, or are they putting words in?
Yeah, I don't know. Either or, whatever it takes, doesn't matter.
This episode of Road Soda is brought to you by Reggie Johnson's Weight Loss Hair Growth Serum. Are you a fat guy who wears hats, or a fat lady who wears wigs? Well, stop. With our new patented formula, turn your fat into hair. This serum is guaranteed to change your fat on a molecular level into hair. They said it couldn't be done, but they never met Bob Chansey.
Hi, I'm Bob Chansey. I used to be so fat and bald. Now I'm not.
Join Bob and hundreds of others who have purchased our product and watch your spare tire turn into hair power.
I'm Reggie Johnson, inventor of the magical weight loss hair growth serum. My brother has cornered the dick pill market, and I have cornered everything else. All you do is take a squirt of this shit, put it on your fat ass and your bald head, and bam! Stop looking dumb being fat and bald. Get yourself a head of hair like a lion. You're gonna be so damn skinny with so much hair, people gonna freak out. You're gonna scare kids. Turn your life around with my weight loss hair growth serum. Reggie Johnson. Scary skinny, scary hairy.
I think either one is pretty interesting, even if it's just like the word it happened to land on a word that like answered a question that you just asked.
Yeah. So the other night, now that we're on this, I decided there's an app where you can go and get a specific frequency. It's like all the way up to, I don't even know, thousands of whatever hertz, and
gigahertz.
Yeah,
I just made that word up.
I picked one, put my earbuds in, and I guess like tried to zone out, meditate, whatever, and I started to hear things.
Yeah.
Like, but I've all it's. Yeah.
What are those called? Neuro something. Like those there's a word for it. Like there's these sounds that are supposed to, quote unquote, resonate with certain frequencies of your like brain and whatnot. And by listening to them, it's supposed to put you into different like alpha,
like
beta.
Binaural beats.
Binaural beats. Nice, Katie.
Yeah, but those typically that's like a couple different ones. Like go one like 400 and something going in one ear, and then like 300 and something going in the other ear. I was just listening to like 55 or
55. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Like, okay, so let me ask you this. If I was someone and I came up to Katie, let's say, I just found out what channeling was, and I went, Katie, can you...
Which we never finished that, by the way.
What? Well, I know
like
that's
what voice channeling, actually.
Voice channeling. Well, yeah, we kind of just started telling your backstory about how you've been interested in ghosts, and ghosts always have good ghost stories. Like Cousin David's ghost stories are really good.
What?
You remember Cousin David telling his ex-wife's ghost stories?
No.
You remember how he said...
I wasn't always hanging out.
His wife was home alone, and I guess there was a lady that like there was a lady that got like stabbed in their house, like a pregnant lady that got stabbed, and she like saw the ghost of that, and like the stain like resurfaced on the floor or some shit.
I hear that a lot.
The stains resurfacing? Yeah.
I just took a picture of one at the Capitol in West Virginia.
Oh yeah? The West Virginia Capitol?
Yeah.
A stain?
There's a stain on the second floor.
And they were like, this resurfaced? Or
it just
like,
came out of
look at
nowhere.
That stain.
And I guess somebody tried, they either did or tried, and it ended up, so somebody tried killing themselves, or they did kill themselves. And if they tried, it's because he ended up dying, but at the hospital or something.
Right.
But he was embezzling money and so on and so
Cool
forth.
guy.
Right. But yes, it's some stain
Right.
that's
It was
there.
a stain from like a blood stain. Or is it a ghost?
It
ghost
just, it looks like a
stain?
shadow, really.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are all that stuff. Whenever there's physical evidence, there's like a tangible thing existing from ghosts. It's always like the coolest part. So I'm coming up to Katie and Katie, can you channel me? Is that what they would say? What would somebody say?
Well, somebody would have to know that I do.
Well,
that,
they know.
right?
Let's say I know.
Okay. Usually, what I get is, how much do you charge?
Right. How much do you
That's-
charge?
Yeah.
Let's say I got that. I put the money down on the table.
Right.
Are you doing a reading? I'll give you a reading. Or
so
what do you?
I prefer when somebody comes with a specific question.
So they have a question that
Right.
they need answered, and what?
I prefer that. That doesn't always happen.
Okay, so how about this? How about explain someone that you've done like anonymously? You could just go, they had a question about blank. Don't worry, whoever it is probably will never ever
Oh my
hear it,
God,
so don't even worry
Isaiah,
about that.
I can't
But just don't
even
say their
remember.
name.
Honestly, like when I do this, don't even remember.
You-
And then
you don't-
somebody will message me and be like, "Hey, so what was it that you said about blah blah blah
So
blah?" I'm like,
you should
I have
write it
no
down.
idea.
You don't record every single session you do. so you
No,
can
it's
give it to
over
the
on. It's
people?
on. It's like a FaceTime thing,
Uh,
and I always tell them to take notes or whatnot.
yeah, or
But-
record it and do it something.
Right.
You should. So,
Because
but
I
you couldn't remember. You can't remember a question that someone's asked you.
usually it's love or money.
Love and money, because people love money. What do you?
Right.
Yeah.
And that it annoys me.
So,
honestly.
Katie, when am I going to get rich?
You want to know honestly?
I'm all right. I know it's gonna be soon. I know it's gonna be soon. You don't need to tell me. Or people are like, is this relationship going to work out with?
Or when am I gonna find love? Is my boyfriend cheating on me?
Okay.
Do I have love in my near future? Is my marriage gonna last? Like, just
What kind of
things like
questions
that.
would you prefer? Where's my wedding ring? I lost it 10 years ago. Where is
No.
it?
More like, how can I better myself? What
Right.
do I do to do cool shit like you? I don't,
Right.
like,
Okay.
because that's
I mean, if you're gonna,
that's interesting. Like, who gives a shit about love and money? Yeah.
those people,
I know, I get it.
these people
I get
are
it.
like, because if you're doing this thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of what purpose is it? Is it to help other people out? And if that's what everyone what kind of things do you want to be helping other people out with? Because a lot of people's, that's
Right.
It's not like you can help them with their fucking credit score. You gotta they're coming in there. Those are the things to ask about love and
Right.
love life.
So that's why I have not been doing it for a while.
Yeah, because you're sick of people's love lives.
No, I mean, because it's like I don't. So when all of this first started happening, I was like, this is a dream come true.
Yeah.
Although I'm not like a Teresa Caputo. I'm not like listening or hearing people's family members
Right.
like I would like to. And giving them messages beyond the grave, because I've always dreamed
Right.
of doing that. And I'm like, but it'll get there. I'll just do what this is for now and give people these questions, answer these questions. And after a while, the desire just started to fade, and I think it's because of just different understandings that I have. My belief system compared to others' belief systems kind of make things difficult.
Right.
And
because if you're trying to explain, it might make it hard to convey a certain message you have because it's coming through the filter of what your what your belief system is.
There's also a magnet system that we work through.
There's also
and
so
they totally are trying to talk right now.
Good. They can wait their turn.
Thanks, bro.
They what was I gonna say?
Although you never know, because sometimes it is them or me, and that's the difference. I'm getting back to that
this
because
is a regular
it's
old
the channeling that the others do.
Situation. What was that movie with the
Norman Bates?
Norman Bates and his.
That's Psycho, right?
Yeah, that one.
Yep. Anyway, so the channelers that you see online or whatever, they are supposedly moving to a side, but they're also, their filters are still it's not 100% clean.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. And so that's why some information is different, right?
Stuff's gonna seep in anyway.
And
like it's hard,
that's the thing with me. I can make it 100% clean if I don't think at the same time, but I'm not moving aside. I'm always here. I can stop it anytime. I can literally just ignore it or close my mouth,
Okay.
So I'm never in a daze or a fog, like these people will explain like how they basically feel like they're falling asleep and then all of a sudden they come back. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's because their body's like going to sleep, their consciousness is being pushed aside, like you said. Mm-hmm. So any time that anyone's ever asked, like if someone's like, tell me, am I going to find love? Do you ever tell them yes or no? You go, no, you're not. Is that what the answer comes out to be? Like,
you know what?
Let's say someone goes, is my girlfriend cheating on me? Have you ever definitively said yes? Yeah. Next.
I wish. But she's too chicken shit. No. I don't ever recall saying that. Right. But I do think that if somebody acts?
Sure.
They do.
This is Georgia. This is Georgia, Katie.
No, I will be saying something and it'll come out totally as not what I'm trying to say. Uh-huh. That's that.
Some people might say that might be a neurological disorder, but
you're right,
you're fine.
Isaiah. You're totally
fine. You shouldn't check it out.
So, if somebody asks if they're going to get love at some point, and the true definitive answer is not by someone else, or no, like you're never going to have the romantic love like you see on the movies, then what they will end up saying is probably something about finding self-love, because that is the true love.
So if you ever ask, am I ever going to find love, and they tell you you got to find self-love, the answer is no.
Right.
The answer is no.
Well, it's like, that's something else. What is your definition of love, Like,
Katie,
what?
I just got a really crazy idea. What if I asked people on that listen to the podcast if they had questions, but that wasn't like, am I going to find love? But if they had if they had like
I don't want to deter anyone.
Right. No, I don't want to deter anyone, but I want to say if somebody has like a thought-provoking question, maybe about the space, the universe, or anything in it, and they wrote into it. If I gave you the question, and then you could send me a message of the answer.
Right. Yeah.
And we could. So how about that? Because we just got a new phone number on the show, and so if anyone either wants to send them, so if they want to email, they can write into roadsodamail@gmail.com, or you can call in and leave a voicemail whenever you want throughout an episode to 706-200-1213. Isn't that an easy phone number? Yeah, I've already got it memorized. I looked at
Already.
I looked at it once, and it's so easy. 706-200-1213, and you can leave a voicemail.
Yep.
And we'll play the voicemail on the show, and then we'll have Katie can also send her. I can get a recording of her answering it. That would be fun.
Well,
It'll be like
I guess if it's okay.
Katie. It could be like a love line kind of thing.
Oh, Lord.
But all right, so that. But I also think that very soon maybe you can do a reading for me, and I will record it with so on when I'm on my end, I'll be sure I'm recording it with this microphone, and because I want to do. No, I just think it's like as far as getting a reading, I think it would be really fun to do it for the show, just so that people can.
I get where you are coming from.
Mm-hmm.
I was just checking in because Isaiah. If it's, I guess if it's a willy-nilly one, then.
Well, Katie,
whatever. If you have specific questions,
well, that's what I would try. Okay. That's what I would try to do.
I only say that because it's like how deep do you want to go? Because they will totally drag some shit up or heal some stuff, but not like what I don't know. Not. I don't like even that word heal, but whatever. It'll be.
Katie's ghost friends are trying to tell her that.
It's with family. I don't like because it's like people get sensitive and touchy, and with it.
Yeah,
with
just about
family,
everybody could say everyone. When you know your family as well as anyone else does, you have literally every single like. Memory that you have with that person is somewhere in your life, and very in depth their personality.
But the web is tangled a lot deeper than just this Isaiah.
Well,
Katie.
what I want to do, because I see myself, Katie, as some kind of journalist. I like to interview people, and I also like to do that in a more gonzo way where you actually jump in and do it yourself to kind of experience. So that's where I'm coming from. I think it'll be really fun for if we have good questions that we can ask.
Right.
And maybe that's what we can do. Whoever writes in their questions, I could read them to you, and we can do the whole thing.
Yep.
Maybe that's how we could do it.
I don't care.
I don't care. I think that's what I would like to do. But Katie,
I'm down.
So every time.
See how? Let me just. Is my face like really red?
Mm-hmm. Not like really, but
my face feels like it's pulsating right now. Just talking about this stuff, like the energy just goes. Vroom. Yeah, and it's hotter than it's warm.
Yeah, that's how you feel.
My hands are freezing though.
Feel.
So it's like, but you don't look red.
That's because I'm just darker than you because I actually go outside sometimes.
You live in Florida.
So yeah, that's how when you're doing stand up. You get on stage in front of a bunch of people.
Yes, it's because
it's because all of their energy is being directed to you, and if you're doing it right, you're also channeling from this other existence. It's like where all the comedy is like coming through, and you just get fucking fired hot. And then when you start bombing and people start disliking you, and you have 30 people in a room looking at you, not enjoying what you're saying. Then the heat really cranks up.
Well, that's the trigger gene that we all get, the hot flashes.
The hot flash.
The flustered.
What does he say? Oh my god, the turtle from
I'm nauseous.
I'm nauseous. Yeah, there you go. The turtle from Rocko's Modern Life. Thank you. Yep. So the first time, every time we have somebody on for the first time, let's see if I can say time a couple more times. We just do this kind of interview, like who are you and what's your, and then the next time you come on, then it's more comfortable to talk about, just actually have more.
Shit, boy, I could talk all day about.
I know, I understand that. That's why I'm trying to keep it to a tight 36.
Keep him on the what is it? Cliffhanger.
A cliffhanger. There you go. So yeah, next time. That's what we'll do, and it doesn't have to be next episode, but it can be, whenever we are ready to do it.
Yeah.
But now that we've done this, we can always go, oh, back on episode 111, Katie did her thing. And now you can go listen to that and then listen to this.
Why'd you say 111?
Because that's what episode this is.
Really?
Yeah.
Lord.
Anyway, all right, Katie. Thank you for being on the Road Soda.
Thanks.
Here we are, all the way at the end already. I mean, I thought, for all I knew, it was just getting started. We took you on the road. We took the Road Soda on the road. It's our first episode out. And you know what? I think in the future, this is a dream for the Road Soda. I really would like to travel around and interview the people. I want to do pop-ups, little setup, and interview interesting people across the country. And you know what? One day, we are going to get there. The true Road Soda, where we interview people and we're still doing news and millennial book clubs. Guys, what did we learn on this episode? I think what I learned was that the police department totally jacked Spider-Man technology and used it to chase down a guy who just wanted some McDonald's. He just wanted some McDonald's. What's so bad about that? Huh? I don't know. What else did we learn? We learned that ghosts like to leave stains. So if I were you, I wouldn't have carpets, because that could be really hard to get out if a ghost leaves a stain on your carpet. What a pain. What a pain that could be. And what else? Oh, we also learned that Road Soda now has a phone number that you can call and you can leave a voicemail for us to be a bigger part of the show. So why don't you call in and tell us your thoughts on this episode? You can call 706-200-1213. Again, it's 706-200-1213. How easy is that? How easy is that? I actually cycled around a few times on the every time I hit the button, it would generate a new phone number for me. And the last time I did it, that was the phone number. And I was like, ooh, that rolls off the tongue. 706-200-1213. So yeah, guys, go ahead, call us, leave your voicemails. We'd love to hear from you. And you can also write into the show if you've got something more to say and you want to write it down. You can do that. roadsodamail@gmail.com. And don't think that we are not doing the Millennial Book Club anymore, because we are doing the Millennial Book Club. And we will most definitely do it next week. No matter what, we are reviewing a movie next week. And you know what else? I'm going to stop saving it for conversation from now on. I'm going to keep it going because I just want to keep that thing. I don't want to let that stop just because we don't have somebody to talk about it with. It's always better if we can. But if we can't, I'm just going to give you a review. I'm just going to give you an honest review about the Millennial Book Club, because that's I think that's slacking on my part, and I don't want to slack for you anymore. So thank you guys for listening to the show, and I hope you have a wonderful week. And if you do anything for yourself this week, how about you try going to bed early? Try that shit out for a change, huh? How about that?